So this right here is the Full Metal Casioak, G-Shock's GM-B2100. There's a good chance you're probably already very familiar with this watch, especially if you're a regular here. This powerhouse has become an absolute mainstay in the G-Shock catalogue since first launching in 2022 and has quickly become recognised worldwide as one of the best watches you can buy for the money. However, this new version dropped just recently and it looks almost exactly the same, yet is almost exactly half the price. So I thought it would be cool to run through everything this model has to offer and see how it stacks up. Oh, and we'll also have some fun too. Let's jump in. So, quickfire Casioak history lesson. The GA-2100 is where it all started in 2019. These dropped and immediately took the watch world by storm. While they're inspired by the octagonal shapes of the OG DW5000, they were soon given the Casioak nickname due to their resemblance to AP's Royal Oak. And that resemblance got even closer when they added in some metal. In 2021, G-Shock released the GM-2100 and changed the game again. Adding in that stainless steel gave that extra bit of rugged luxury to an already iconic timepiece. And then G-Shock finally put the icing on the cake by releasing the Full Metal Casioak, even closer in looks to an AP but still undeniably G-Shock, with a touch more functionality too. So where does this new one fit in? Well, this is almost a halfway house between the half metal and the full metal. I joked when I first reported on these in our episode of What's New that they look to be an almost 3/4 metal Casioak. However, they are very much full metal. In fact, we're simply adding a metal band to the metal case of a half metal Casioak, which doesn't sound like a lot, but is a lot better than I thought. These are officially known as the GM-2110s or GM-2110s or 211s or whatever you want to call them. These are them, and they originally launched with 5 models: a sky blue, a navy, a lime green, an orange, and my pick of the bunch, this striking and seamless silver. To be honest, I loved all of them on first look, particularly the orange. I did say that one was my favourite originally and also ran a poll on our newsletter asking you which one you thought I'd gone for, to which most of you said the same. However, once again, absolutely no one guessed the one I'd actually gone for. Anyway, I went for the silver as I felt it was the most versatile of the lot and, as I mentioned, seamless. Let's get into it. So we've got a very familiar case here. This is constructed with 316L stainless steel with an octagonal bezel that is forged, cut and polished to perfection, as G-Shock say themselves. But they are right, these are quality. And upon this case, you'll find a combination of brushed and polished finishes, most notably in circular form on the bezel. And as you flip the watch around, we've got a stainless steel case back, and as always, etched with the model and module information as well as a load of its features. In true Casioak fashion, we've got 4 buttons on the outer of its case that help you navigate the watch's many functions, which we will get onto shortly. Zooming in and looking through its mineral glass, we have the GM-2110's, I need to stick with one way to say that, analog digital dial. This is what I meant when I said seamless, by the way. I love how the silver just steps in from its case and continues the watch's overall clean aesthetic. And going back to fine finishes, this dial employs a cool sunburst style dial that reflects just wonderfully in the light. We've got the classic 2100 day dial at 9, which is super easy to read, and legibility is further enhanced thanks to its brilliant positive display between 3 and 6. I've been saying it a lot lately, but it really is worth highlighting as it took ages for us to see positive displays on metal Casioaks, and now it appears that we're seeing them in abundance as all 5 of the watches in this series have them. Now, when the lights get low, the GM-2110 has lume on its sword-like hands, however, not on the indices. This was of course the case from the OG 2100s, but we've seen from the Full Metal, for example, that this can be addressed, and I feel like it wouldn't have been too much to add these in here. Anyway, while lume is important, it's not as important when it comes to G-Shock, as of course they have a light. 2 on this one in fact. The GM-2110 comes with a double LED super illuminator backlight which simultaneously lights up the LCD screen and the dial as a whole, so yeah, you're all good in low lighting. Now then, where things get different, the band. Firstly, it's metal, if you hadn't noticed that already. If you hadn't, I don't know what to tell you really. The links on these are predominantly brushed with clean polished edges where they meet. These taper down to the watch's fold over clasp that offers micro adjustments for an extra snug fit. This band is also super easy to adjust, by the way, thanks to these very easily accessible spring bars. So you may notice the links on these are significantly larger than the GM-B2100s. I originally thought this might compromise comfort levels, but with 4 links removed and moving in slightly with the micro adjustments, I've managed to find a perfect fit for me. What also enhances the comfort levels and is a huge bonus of this watch in particular is the wrist supports where the bracelet meets the case, which is not the case on the GM-B2100s, might I add. That being said, I do prefer the look and feel of the OG Full Metal Casioak's bracelet. The smaller links help it wrap around the wrist a little better, and I was trying to find a more technical way to describe it, but it just looks a bit more G-Shock-y. Anyway, that's just personal preference. Both of these are awesome and you're all good with either. Now then, because these sit in the GM-2100 family, I thought it would be cool to try and play around and see if the straps on these are swappable, and yes they are, mate. As you can see, these are easy to change out with a quick shift of the spring bar, and the quick release resin straps just slot straight in. Really liking the results of this one as well, and yeah, loads of fun could be had with these. The dimensions on the GM-2110 are exactly the same as the original GM-2100 and come in at 49.3mm in length, 44.4 in width, and are just 11.8mm thick, with a weight of 146 grams on arrival, which, in case you were wondering, is 1mm thinner and 19 grams lighter than the OG Full Metal Casioak. And as you may have guessed or seen, the module inside is the same as the Half Metal Casioak 2, the 5611, meaning we benefit from all of the same features, including the likes of a stopwatch, world time, countdown timer, 5 daily alarms, calendar, hand shift function, 200 meters of water resistance, and that double LED backlight I mentioned earlier. This watch also boasts a battery life of 3 years, but it will no doubt last a lot longer than that. For example, I've had this green one since the start, which is somehow over 3 years already, and it's never missed a beat. However, this is a good opportunity to run through the main difference between this and its older brother here, tough solar and Bluetooth. So, as the name suggests, the GM-B2100 benefits from G-Shock's world-renowned solar power charging technology, meaning the battery will keep itself charged up as you expose it to light. Incredibly handy, as you'll likely never need to swap out the battery in your life. I mean, they're relatively straightforward to swap out anyway, but yeah, if you don't fancy doing that, tough solar's for you. And as for Bluetooth, this means you can pair the watch with your phone to open up even more functionality, with highlights being automatic time adjustment, easy watch setting, increasing your world time cities, and the very handy phone finder function, plus a whole lot more. I personally don't tend to pair my watches, and it generally seems like a 50-50 split when speaking to you guys. I just prefer doing everything on my wrist. However, well aware this feature does give the watch a new dimension. All that being said, while significant, I'm not sure that added functionality will justify the jump in price for you. Let's get into that. So, this all-encompassing OG Full Metal Casioak launched with a retail price of $550, which was, and still is, very decent value for money. However, this new GM-2110 retails for just $300, which is pretty insane to be honest. Getting a watch as durable, functional, and as good looking as this for that sort of money is incredible. Serious bang for your buck. Which answers the question of who this is for quite nicely. If you're someone that loves the look of a Full Metal Casioak but not wanted to stretch to the price of a GM-B2100 and aren't too bothered by foregoing Bluetooth or tough solar, this new GM-2110 is perfect for you. Sure, there are also going to be some structural benefits to the GM-B2100, but they effectively look exactly the same and for large parts are exactly the same. I do like that they've gone a bit different with the designs though, especially with the metallic sunburst dials, and I imagine many of you prefer the look of these ones over the current GM-B2100s on offer anyway. But yeah, such a solid watch, a proper go anywhere, do anything. Plus luxury looking of course, people always struggle to believe that these are in fact a G-Shock on first look. This is one I can imagine being a big hit for the brand, not just for long-term fans but also those just getting into G-Shocks, plus new enthusiasts just starting out with their first watch. I'm very keen to know what you think. So yeah, let me know, are you liking this series? Have you picked one up yet? Are you planning to pick one up? Which dial colour is your favourite? Have I gone for the right one? Let me know your thoughts in the comments guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.